I think we're going to try and go back to the Australian Centre for Photography in Paddington and our reporter Kumi Taguchi, and we're going to look at some exceptional photos there for this portrait prize. So I think we can take you back to Kumi now. Kumi, let's try again.
We're back, and it's very still here on the walls, but not so still with our connection to you guys. But nice to be back. I'm with Moshe Rosenzweig now. He is the founder of the Head-On Portrait Photography Prize. We're just talking about the prize. Moshe, tell us about portrait photography and what's striking about this exhibition is how different all the photos are.
Well, we try to have portraits that are beyond the traditional sort of definition of. So it's not just head and shoulder in the studio. So as a result, we've got stuff that is outside, we've got pictures that are two people in them, group shots, pictures in the past we had pictures that actually had no people in them at all. So it's a very kind of wide definition of a portrait. And the idea is really just that images that we can connect to emotionally. This is the most important element of these images.
So for something where there's no person in the picture at all, is that kind of breaking the bounds of conventional portraiture?
Look, I don't know. I know that we had a progression. I think it was the second or third year we had a picture of a person lying in bed. You could see only the feet. And people said, this is not a portrait, how can you do that? But it was a portrait because it told the whole story about the person through the room and through, you know, the situation that that person was in. A couple of years later, we got a picture of an empty bed. It was like a picture of a bed, and I thought, this person obviously did not read that this is a portrait competition. And I kind of I ignored the image for a few times, and then after about 3 rounds through all the images, as we do going through them, I stopped and read the caption. The caption said, "Goodbye, Grandpa," and I had this shiver because the bed, you could see the dent where the body was lying. It was a really strong image, and again, told the whole story about the person from the environment without actually seeing the person.
So obviously that emotional connection, which pushes, I guess, the winners over the line, that emotional connection is often attributed to a caption like the one you've just mentioned. I've noticed that there aren't any captions on these photos now. So what's the idea behind that?
Well, usually we've got the story behind, we don't have the names. So we kind of make sure that the judges do not know who the picture were taken by, and therefore they can choose people who are very well known or very unknown and treat them equally. And as a result, we've got images by all sorts of, people, professional people who've been there for years and those who just started. But we will put the captions later on so the public can actually see who it is. It's just at this stage of the judging that we keep it out.
And finally, Moshe, in this era of moving images, quick videos, instant access to everything, how important do you think it is to have this kind of stillness in art and stillness in photography?
Well, I come from a background of photography myself, even though I did a lot of film work as well. And it's different. It's a different way of looking at the world. It's basically stopping for a moment and looking at the situation without being bombarded by a whole lot of other, information that attached to it. So it's the image itself. You can stop, look at it, and see what the photographer saw at that particular moment.
Thank you, Moshe. That was Moshe Rosenzweig, and I'm here at the Australian Centre of Photography. Now, this is just one of about 150 events going on over a month as part of the Head-On Photography Festival, so it's going to be a fantastic arty month.